Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Progmagic about giving more Pokemon Armor evolutions. Let's hop in and see, well, who armors up today. There we go, Armor
Pokemon
up.
evolutions have come in many different methods. Some natural, some a little strange, as have Digimon, in some equally wacky ways. But one of the all-time coolest was armor evolutions. So what if we gave Pokemon their own Digimon armor evolutions? Hey everyone, Brandon here. It's time for some Sinnoh Pokemon to get their own armor evolutions. But what is a Digimon related video on this channel without our Digidestined partner in crime, Carney X?
Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Proto, what are you doing here? Where's Karn?
He just needed a little Carney extra time to get his hair all coiffed and beautiful.
Extra
but
time.
he wanted me to
I
let
get
you
it.
know that I'll
That's
be
funny.
quizzing him and Brandon over on his channel on whether they can guess a Pokemon or a Digimon with just 2 words.
Oh yeah, definitely check that out. You're such a good intern,
Yeah, that video I checked out on Monday, if you remember that.
Proto.
What? No, I'm no in-
Anyway, I think I hear Karn coming.
Oh, hey! Apologies for being late. I assume my
Hell.
intern filled you in?
Yep, so how about we get started with the god of Pokemon himself?
Wait, we're giving
Arceus.
Arceus an armor evolution?
Arceus? Who said anything about Arceus? I'm talking about the primordial being Bidoof. This time around, we
Oh.
tried to break from tradition a bit, so we gave Bidoof
You know what doesn't make sense? How did that whole thing started? How did Bidoof become the god of all Pokemon? Doesn't make sense. It's just a joke.
the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. This egg is typically associated with bugs, so we gave it to bug or bug-adjacent Pokemon in the past, but it is also
remember.
associated with drills because of Digmon here. So when combined, Bidoof evolves into Bibild, the construction
Oh,
Pokemon,
not bad.
a normal steel type, who we worked with Fungusmon to create, and they also created the rest of the armor evolutions in this video, so make sure to check out their link in the description.
Brandon and I thought with beavers being known for their wicked dam building skills, and their many depictions as construction workers in cartoons and other media, that this
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a perfect pairing of concepts for this Digi-Egg,
Well, that's
turning
not
the
bad.
armor into a hard hat and chainsaw tail, with a little drill tooth in there for good measure.
And the
It's
knowledge
cute.
aspect comes in with Bibild acting more as a four-person, being knowledgeable in how to construct well-made buildings, with the Crest of Knowledge sitting right on top of its hard hat directly next to its mind for added effect. As
I
Karn noted,
like
its
it.
body is optimized for all aspects of the job, being the brains and brawn behind the operation. So this construction worker isn't catcalling anyone. It is too smart and busy for
He's
that.
busy.
And if it wasn't obvious, its name comes from a mixture of Bidoof, Bibarel, and Build.
Not bad.
Your world
Oops.
is
Hold
a-
on, folks. Be right back. And we're back.
Definitely still maintains the friend-shaped nature from when it was a Bidoof. Speaking of, let's move on to the Digi-Egg of Friendship, who we gave to Baneri. This Pokemon is
Ooh.
another that evolves with high friendship, so it makes for a great
that makes
candidate for
sense.
this armor. With that said, Baneri evolves into Lopeary, the Volt Antler Pokemon, a normal electric type.
Not
This galvanic
bad.
rabbit uses its powerful hind legs to move at lightning-fast speeds across the plains and deserts it calls home. It will charge at power as it runs, turning
Okay, gonna stop this right now just to say so far the only two that they've done have actually been pretty damn good. I'll give them props.
into a Volt Tackle that makes Ash's Pikachus look like a hug.
We really tried to evoke the feeling of Rydramon with this evolution, turning the lightning horn on the Digi-Egg into 2 antlers, which take this from your average bunny to a jackalope, from which it gets its name, while also mixing
Oh,
Lopunny
yeah.
in there as well. Anyway, this mythical creature hailing from the American West, as with most jackrabbits, is known for its speed, which fits in well for an electric type. And also, come on, lightning bolt antlers? How cool is that?
Almost
Yeah,
as
a
cool
little
as
cool.
Raydramon, which is a big compliment coming from your resident Raydramon fan.
Oh yeah, you prefer Rydramon over Flamedramon, but Proto likes Flamedramon more though, doesn't he?
He sure does, that silly man.
So why don't we give him something to oogle at with a Digi-Egg of Courage evolution that heavily evokes it? For this, we picked probably the most clear Vmon equivalent that exists in Gen 4 and
Who
pretty
is
much
it?
Pokemon in general, Riolu. So Riolu Courage
Ah.
Armor evolves into Calurio, the Spirit Pokemon,
Huh.
a fire fighting type.
Not bad, but you know, it may just seem simplistic to me. Still, not bad, not bad.
What you think, Brodo?
Thank you!
Riolu was such a perfect candidate for this video to the point that I almost stopped at Gen 3 with this series, but the very idea of this Pokemon convinced me to do it. Make sure to show some support by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video so I know y'all want to see Gen 5. Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
back to Kalurio. This Pokemon is inspired by the multiple depictions of hellhounds across world mythologies.
Damn.
Um,
Given Riolu and Lucario are partly inspired by Anubis, a god of funerary rites, and guide of the
Egyptian
underworld,
at
a
that.
fiery hound found in the underworld made sense as a basis for this evolution.
And to tie it further into its fire typing, the specific hellhound we based it on is that of Guayota from Guanche mythology, which hails from Tenerife of the Canary Islands. Guayota is a malevolent deity, taking the shape of a large black dog that lives inside the Teide volcano, which is seen as a gateway to the underworld. He is often
Nice,
accompanied by
nice.
other small hellhounds called Tibicina, which are demons in their own right. Their black fur was what informed the choice to make Riolu's black coloration take over with Kalurio.
While it is inspired by these malignant demons, Kalurio's personality is actually quite the opposite, though its appearance may evoke fear in those who don't know its true nature. An intimidating protector,
that's simple.
it stands guard at volcanoes, courageously defending against any Pokemon or natural disasters that would threaten nearby towns or villages.
Kalurio's name
Oh.
might just sound like Lucario's mixed up, but
Oop.
See
Hold on,
something-
folks. We'll be right back. And we're back.
it actually has a
There we
greater
go.
meaning. In Japanese, kasai or kaji means an out-of-control flame or conflagration. So that ka sound takes the lead in this fiery Pokemon's name. I almost designated this the Burning Spirit Pokemon, but that felt like a mouthful and wanted to keep it one word like Riolu and Lucario. And the word Spirit felt in the same realm as Emanation and Aura.
And I assume Calorio would have an
Yeah, it's
ability
not
to
bad.
like intimidate given its lore and inspiration.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You could even say that it has an intimidating aura.
That reminds me of another Pokemon
fun.
from Sinnoh, known for its intimidation and is a brave bird itself, Staraptor. Though, rather than courage, we opted for the Digi-Egg of Sincerity for Starly. So when combined, Starly evolves into Staria, the Honor Pokemon, a grass-flying type. As
Not
we have
bad,
explained
not bad.
previously, evolutions from this egg typically have themes of flora and sometimes Japanese culture.
yeah, a lot of
so
plants.
Staria's inspiration comes from the Japanese folktale of Momotaro, also known as the Peach Boy. What would you know, Peach Boy?
The tale speaks of a boy born from a peach bestowed by the gods. In his adolescence, he journeys to defeat a band of Oni terrorizing his adoptive parents' land, befriending a dog, monkey, and pheasant along the way. This
Bum
pheasant is
bum.
depicted as a Japanese green pheasant, and sometimes as an anthropomorphic warrior in its own right. So put together the themes of a plant-born boy and his green bird companion, throw in a little bit of Tengu, and you get yourself a perfect grass flying type.
Staria
Yeah,
definitely gives off
alright,
the same
that's not
vibes as
bad.
Shorimon, initially being a bird that with this egg turns into some kind of Japanese warrior.
They're dating.
What?
Japanese grass warrior. Wait, what the fuck did you just say?
They're dating.
Okay. Anyway, Staria
Moving
is
on.
honor-bound to serve their master, which doesn't even have to be a trainer who caught them. Any person or Pokemon that it believes to be superior, Staria will swear fealty to. Though they
Oh.
don't usually inhabit the same area, Sirfetch'd and Staria, who do meet, have been found to lock in intense battles, to see who
Ooh.
fights more honorably.
Honor can
Who
be
ha-
interpreted
who
as a
has
form
more
of sincerity,
honor?
treating others with the highest form of respect by being honest, earnest, and able to be relied upon. Which reliability is the name of our next Digi-Egg, which usually has themes of water and water-based vehicles in its evolutions. Because what is more reliable than Seacrafts? Right, guys? Right? So who
Yeah,
better to
no,
give a
they're
water-based evolution than to a Pokemon that's already based on an aquatic animal? The Gibble line are all land-based sharks, so it's time to return them to the sea with Gibble's reliability armor evolution, Giblast. The Jets
Yeah, we've all heard of Return to Monkey, but what about Return to Fish?
Dream Pokemon, a water dragon type.
The form of aquatic vehicle this is based on is a jet ski. I mean, with the
Obviously.
way Gibble's body and head protrusions are shaped, and it being a shark, it made for an easy transition into this concept, transforming those previously mentioned head protrusions into buoys. That's how we say buoys. Just because you're American doesn't mean you're right. That help keep Giblast afloat on the surface of
doesn't
the
matter.
water, and turning its dorsal fin into the handles of a jet ski. The Garchomp line pulls inspiration from the Carcharius genus of shark, with its last extant member being tiger sharks, and many
sand
being
sharks.
prehistoric.
So Giblast pulls from another prehistoric shark, the Stethocanthus, which itself has
the
an oddly jet
hell?
ski handle-like dorsal fin.
Dorsal fin? I thought it was an anvil that someone dropped on its head, Looney Tunes style.
Ah,
Yeah, weirdly enough, that is a dorsal fin that was
Gross.
apparently lined with spines. So unlike Giblast, you wouldn't want to try to ride this thing. Which I don't know why or even how you would anyway. Giblast is yet another speedster. What Loperia is to land, this Pokemon is to the sea, leaving enormous waves in its wake that people have been known to use for surfing contests. Riding on the back of this Pokemon can be a harrowing experience if it's not properly trained. It definitely gives the Sharpedo used in Alola something to aspire to.
Ah. Oops. Hold on, folks. Be right back. And we're back.
Talked about 3 starters types, why don't we move on to the starters?
True. Why don't we continue riding the wave of water Pokemon and start with Piplup and work our way backwards in the decks?
Sure thing.
Yeah, okay.
So we decided to give Piplup the Digi-Egg of Love. This egg is known to make creatures winged,
Cute.
with Halcyon being known as the Wings of Love.
So what would a penguin with big wings look like?
A puffin.
Bless you.
No, Brandon, I meant an orc?
Karn, it's not awkward. You just sneezed. It's okay.
No, I mean this thing.
It's called a puffin.
Oh, yeah, that could work.
So, Piplup with the Digi-Egg of Love becomes Piplume, the Puffin
Ooh.
Pokemon, a water flying type.
Its partial flying
Not
typing
bad.
obviously takes into account its new ability to soar through the sky, but when combined with
It
its
looks like it'd be very prideful, like it would want to have the cleanest feathers around.
primary typing, references the belief of some Inuit people that Ox have the ability to control storms and the weather.
This weather control is present in Piplume, while not quite as massive as Pokemon like the Weather Trio or the Genies. It can summon small storms that make for turbulent seas around where they reside. Tying it back to love, Piplume's concept and abilities refers to the tides of love, and its ebbs and flows.
The Tides of Love?
That makes
sounds like the
sense.
name of a cheesy romance novel.
Oh, it is.
Oh my,
Oh my.
god.
Well, on a completely different note, Chimchar. We decided to give it the
Monkey.
Digi-Egg of Light. Like the Digi-Egg of Love, Light has a common theme of wings, but more so angelic wings. Except for Mambomon. Well, we don't talk about that guy.
A
We
winged
don't talk
monkey
about
would
him.
definitely be cool. Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch's monkey marauders that kidnapped Dorothy.
And that is in fact one of the inspirations we took when creating Chimchar's Light Armor evolution, Chimage, the wizard Pokemon, a
Ooh.
fire fairy type. This Pokemon takes inspiration
have
from
that
the
on my
Wicked Witch
team.
and the Wizard in its design and abilities as well. Chimage juggles magical balls of flame between its hands and feet while in the air, throwing them like spells towards its opponent. Flying monkeys are not an exclusively Wizard of Oz creation though. They actually originate from the Chinese Zhao or Owl, which are essentially
Oh,
winged
the
monkey
Zhao.
spirits that like to make
Okay.
a lot of noise.
Chimage is certainly a far cry from Infernape, though their origins both hail from Chinese mythology. The silvers of Chimage really contrast well against the golds of
A
Infernape,
winged monkey and Sun Wukong.
along with
Not
their
bad.
types and attack styles.
I give that a
Maybe
thumbs
we can
up.
make a third Chimchar evolution that's a tank-like fighter to kind of complete the RPG trio.
Don't you go giving my audience any ideas there, Karn. They might actually do that. You guys should totally go do that.
That leaves us with the last egg and Pokemon of this video, which are the Digi-Egg of Hope and Turtwig.
Yeah,
Quadrupedal
my
mythical
boy!
creatures are usually seen with evolutions using this egg. And given that Turtwig is already quadrupedal and is one of the few starters to stay that way, this makes things easy for us.
Ah, so what you're saying is we need to make it bipedal.
What?
No. Do
No.
you want the
No.
cards to come for your head?
Well, yeah, free engagement, but I get you. So what were you thinking?
Well, given that Torterra is based on the world turtle found across multiple mythologies, why don't we find a different mythical turtle to base this on? Like the Tarask, a draconic chimera of sorts, with the
Huh.
head of a lion, carapace of a tortoise, and the tail of a serpent.
You know what that kind of sounds like to
Could
me?
be
The lion
interesting.
turtle seen in Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of
Hey,
Korra.
there
Exactly.
we go.
So, with the Digi-Egg of Hope, Turtwig evolves into Turtask, the island Pokemon, a grass dragon type. This Pokemon
Nice.
floats across the seas, housing bird Pokemon that need rest within the dwelling on its back. When they return to land, they undergo long periods of hibernation in forests. Sitting so still, they grow extra foliage on their backs.
To
Love
be a
it.
little bird cozied up in Turtest shell. What a treat.
Though we do usually try to pair the
I mean,
likes of
what a
Hope Digi-Egg
tweet.
together, thematically due to their relation to TK and Kari, it's not an absolute rule. Though they do have a connection technically because we gave Hope and Light to 2 of the Sinnoh starters.
Speaking of connections, the Sinnoh starters were when we started to see legitimate and obvious group themes for the final evolutions, with theirs being myths from around the world. We kept that theme intact with these 3 armor evolutions, but also added in another theme. Mythical creatures within entertainment. We've already discussed the
Oh,
winged monkeys
really?
and the lion turtle, one from a movie and the other from an animated TV show. For
Oh,
Piplume, its
yeah.
partial inspiration is Sven from Happy Feet 2.
That's a bit of a niche reference there, Brandon,
Meh.
and I'd hardly call this guy mythical.
Well, if you actually watch the movie, then you would know that Sven is called the Mighty Sven, and is essentially worshipped like a god, as the penguins think he is some kind of miraculous flying penguin.
I'm still not gonna watch the movie, Brandon.
Well,
not bad.
fine, your loss. But if you don't want to be at a loss of more content with Karn and I, make sure to head over to his channel and subscribe to see us try to guess Pokemon or Digimon with only 2 words linked here. Thank you all.
Well, folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be down below, so remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.